Harvard University, a cold February night in 2004. In his dorm room at Kirkland House, a 19-year-old wearing a hoodie sits at his keyboard. The screen's glow illuminates his face. He doesn't know that the code he's writing tonight will change the course of world history. The platform he's designing just to connect college friends will, within a few years, touch the lives of 3 billion people on the planet. This young man is Mark Zuckerberg. And today, with a fortune of $229 billion, he owns one of the world's most powerful tech giants. But this story isn't just about wealth. This is a story of a prodigy's passion, a visionary's determination, and one of history's fastest rises. What happened on this incredible journey from Facebook to Meta, from dorm room to global empire? Let's discover together. Born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York, Mark Elliott Zuckerberg is the only son of a middle-class family. His father Edward is a dentist, his mother Karen a psychiatrist. Growing up in Dobbs Ferry with his 3 sisters Ariel, Randy, and Donna, Mark's life would change with a computer he received at age 11. While most kids that age were playing games, Mark Zuckerberg was writing code. His first project was ZuckNet, a messaging program connecting the computers in his father's dental office and home. This wasn't just a messaging app, it was the first seed of the future social network. At age 12, he created ZuckNet using Atari Basic. His father's receptionist could now be notified of new patients without leaving her seat. They messaged within the family too. A child's hobby? No. These were a genius's first steps. When his parents recognized their son's extraordinary talent, they hired a private computer tutor. This teacher, David Newman, would later tell journalists, Mark was hard to keep up with. After he learned everything I could teach him, he started taking graduate courses at Mercy College. While still in high school. His high school years at Phillips Exeter Academy revealed Mark's versatile talents. Not just computers, he was captain of the fencing team, brilliant in literature, passionate about learning new languages. But his true passion was coding. The Synapse media player he developed in high school was an AI-powered program that learned your music listening habits. This was the late 1990s. AI was still considered science fiction. The program was so impressive that Microsoft and AOL came to buy it. The money and job opportunity they offered were not to be dismissed. Mark's answer? No. Why? Because he lived not for money, but for what he created. When he was accepted to Harvard, he already came with the title of programming prodigy. Harvard University, 2003. Mark, studying computer science and psychology, lives in Kirkland House dorm and is a member of the Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity. But he's no ordinary student. One night, after arguing with his girlfriend, partly out of anger, he sits at his computer. He creates Face Mash. The concept is simple but controversial, putting photos of Harvard students side by side and having people vote on who's more attractive. But how to get the photos? He hacks Harvard's database. In the internet age, hacking is a thing, but this is 2003, and what Mark does is technically illegal. The site goes viral within hours. Harvard's network infrastructure is on the verge of collapse. The result? Disciplinary action. This incident doesn't stop him. On the contrary, he realizes something: people want to see each other, share, connect. The university administration is preventing this, but the demand is there. What if we gave people what they wanted? February 4, 2004. Mark Zuckerberg and his roommates Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCullum, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes purchased the domain name thefacebook.com. The first day, it's open only to Harvard students. Within 24 hours, 1,200 registrations. Within 1 week, half of Harvard students are members. Within 1 month, other Ivy League universities. This isn't just a website. It's a phenomenon. People spend hours on the site, adding friends, writing wall posts, sharing photos. Mark's room is now the work center. Friends write code, ideas are debated, pizza boxes pile up. By the end of 2004, Facebook, now without the, is opening to other universities, then high schools, then everyone. User numbers are exploding. Investors are coming. PayPal founder Peter Thiel invests $500,000. And Mark has to make a decision: stay at Harvard or focus on this crazy project? At 20 years old, Mark Zuckerberg drops out of the world's most prestigious university. His family is worried, his friends are shocked. But he sees his vision. Facebook isn't just a site, it's the future of communication. They're moving to Silicon Valley. A rental house in Palo Alto. Here the team works day and night. With the motto, move fast and break things. Explosion, millions are coming. 2005 to 2008 are Facebook's golden years. 2005, 5.5 million users. 2006, opens to everyone. 12 million users. 2007, Facebook apps and pages launched. 2008, 100 million users. At 23, Mark Zuckerberg becomes the world's youngest self-made billionaire. But success doesn't come without pain. The Social Network film hits theaters in 2010. In its screenplay, Eduardo Saverin's Betrayal, the Winklevoss twins claim that Facebook was stolen. Dramatic friendships. The film takes Jesse Eisenberg to the Oscars but also makes Mark controversial. The real story is complex. Paths diverge with Eduardo Saverin, resulting in a multi-million-dollar settlement. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss claim their site ConnectU was stolen. $65 million settlement. Mark wins these lawsuits, but the cost is heavy. His reputation is shaken. Labels like thief and friend betrayer stick. But he moves forward. May 18, 2012. Facebook starts trading on NASDAQ. First day share price, $38. Company valuation, $104 billion, the third largest IPO in American history. And what's Mark doing that day? Getting married. That same week, he marries his girlfriend of 9 years, Priscilla Chan. Guests think they're coming to Chan's medical school graduation party. They're surprised with a wedding. Strategic acquisitions. Mark isn't just growing Facebook, he's buying competitors. 2012, Instagram, $1 billion, worth over $100 billion today. 2014, WhatsApp, $19 billion, a price that seemed crazy at the time. 2014, Oculus VR, $2 billion, the beginning of the metaverse vision. Every acquisition is controversial. Too expensive, they say. Wasting money, they say. But Mark thinks long-term. The 2018 scandal shakes everything. Cambridge Analytica collects data from 87 million Facebook users without permission and uses it in political campaigns. Mark testifies before Congress. He's questioned in front of the world's eyes. His response to Mr. Zuckerberg: "How does your company make money?" "We run ads, Senator," goes viral. Facebook stock drops. Reputation is damaged. Regulations come. Trust is lost. But Mark still stands. Meta, the leap into the future. October 28, 2021. A bombshell announcement: Facebook is now Meta. Why? Because Mark is no longer just after social media, but the metaverse, the future of virtual reality. People think he's crazy. He's investing hundreds of billions in VR. Stock value drops. Criticism pours in. But by 2024, Meta shares are up 70%. And Mark has a new passion: artificial intelligence. AI revolution and superintelligence. 2024 to 2025 are transformation years for Mark Zuckerberg. He's no longer just a social media boss, he's an AI leader. He's founding Meta Superintelligence Labs. Investing $60 to $72 billion. Acquiring Alexander Wang for $14.3 billion as Chief AI Officer. Competing with OpenAI through open-source llama models. His goal? Personal superintelligence for everyone. And now Meta is one of the most powerful players in the AI race. But the most surprising change is physical. In 2022, he starts MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training. In 2023, he enters his first tournament, wins gold and silver medals. When Elon Musk's cage fight proposal comes, he says, "I'm ready." He tears his ACL during training, has surgery, but still wants to fight. Now there's a new Mark who does MMA training every morning at 8 a.m., wears gold chains, dresses in streetwear. The old gray t-shirt wearing, shy Mark is gone, replaced by a determined, athletic leader. The most striking change is political. Trump was banned from Facebook during his first term. They were enemies. Now, in 2025, he's in the front row at Trump's inauguration. Donates $1 million. Removes the fact-checking system. Brings Joel Kaplan, Republican, to management. Dines with Trump. Why? Mark is a pragmatist. Political winds have changed. And he adjusts his sails to protect his company. Priscilla Chan, The Meaning of Life. A party at Harvard in 2003. Mark is drunk, Priscilla unimpressed. But something starts that night. Priscilla Chan, daughter of a Vietnamese refugee family, came to America speaking only Cantonese. Got into Harvard through her own efforts. Studied medicine. Became a pediatrician. When she meets Mark, Facebook still has the prefix. 9 years together. Mark waits for Priscilla to finish medicine. Then they marry. And Priscilla isn't just a spouse, she's a partner, vision partner, the heart of philanthropy. Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, the 99% Pledge. December 1, 2015. Their first daughter Max is born. And Mark publishes a letter to his daughter, to the world. For your generation to live in a better world, there's so much our generation can do. And the bombshell announcement, they'll donate 99% of their Facebook shares, $45 billion at the time, to charity. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative is founded. Goals: cure all diseases. In 2016, $3 billion to scientific research, transform education, $120 million to San Francisco schools, create opportunity, equality, fight climate change. This isn't just donation, it's active philanthropy. Priscilla works in the field as a doctor. Mark provides technology and infrastructure. Together they're trying to change the world. $75 million to San Francisco General Hospital. A hospital changes its name to Priscilla Chan and Mark Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital. $25 million against Ebola. Coding education for prisoners. Support for immigrants. Billions of dollars spent every year. And Mark and Priscilla signed Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's The Giving Pledge in 2010, a promise to donate at least half their wealth to charity. Family, 3 girls and a life. Today they have 3 daughters, Max, August, and their 3rd daughter born in 2023. They live in their massive garden home in Palo Alto. They have a famous pulley dog named Beast, with 2 million Facebook followers. Mark teaches his daughters Chinese. He respects Priscilla's culture. He took 2 months paternity leave for his family and expanded this right for all Meta employees. And in 2024, he commissions a 7-foot-tall sculpture for his wife from Daniel Arsham. When he shares it on social media, people joke, but Mark doesn't care. That's what love is. Mark Zuckerberg by the numbers. It's 2025. Mark Zuckerberg is 41 years old. And let's look at these facts. Wealth, $229 billion, world's 6th richest. Meta products, over 3 billion daily active users. Facebook, 3 billion. WhatsApp, 2 billion. Instagram, 2 billion. Employee count, over 70,000. AI investment, $70+ billion in 2025. Charitable donations, over $20 billion. But numbers are only part of the story. Controversial legacy. How will Mark Zuckerberg be remembered in history? A visionary? Connected the world, enabled billions of people to communicate, bringing AI and metaverse to life. A dictator? Accused of selling user data, privacy violations said to polarize society, debated for damaging young generations' mental health. The truth is probably somewhere in between. Mark is neither hero nor villain. He's a human, flawed, learning, growing. Final word, the man who never stops. You know what's most impressive about Mark Zuckerberg's story? He never stopped. Got kicked out of Harvard, he continued. Fought with lawsuits, he continued. They said Facebook was dead, dozens of times, he continued. They said he was crazy about metaverse, he continued. Started MMA in his 40s, why? Because he's still learning, growing, changing. And perhaps the biggest lesson he teaches us is this: success isn't a destination, it's a continuous journey. That 20-year-old kid made a website in his dorm room. The 40-year-old man is trying to end all diseases with artificial superintelligence. There are 20 years in between, but the same passion to change the world. Whether you love him or hate him, Mark Zuckerberg is one of the most important figures of the 21st century. And his story isn't over yet. Because there's one more thing Mark Zuckerberg is passionate about: building the future. And in that future, maybe we'll all meet in Meta's virtual world. Maybe our AI assistants will come from Llama. Or maybe cancer will be cured thanks to the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Who knows? But one thing is certain: Mark Zuckerberg is still playing. And the game isn't over yet. Move fast and break things. Unless you are breaking stuff, you are not moving fast enough. Mark Zuckerberg. And he's still running. Still breaking. Still building. The story doesn't end here. A new chapter is just beginning. In the vast digital landscape of Silicon Valley, where the world's biggest fortunes are born, one name stands out as the architect of a technological empire built from a tiny college dorm room: Mark Zuckerberg. Once a quiet student walking through the cold corridors of Harvard, he would go on to reshape not only social media but the entire culture of the internet, communication, advertising, and the digital habits of billions. Yet among all the remarkable parts of his journey, the most fascinating is how he accumulated one of the greatest personal fortunes in modern history. The origin of Mark Zuckerberg's wealth begins in 2004 with the creation of Facebook. Initially designed as a social platform only for university students, the site rapidly expanded across the United States and then the rest of the world. As the user base grew, investors arrived. As investors arrived, the company scaled, and as it scaled, its market value skyrocketed. As the founder, Zuckerberg held a large portion of the company's shares that would later become the foundation of his immense wealth. Over the years, the company acquired Instagram and WhatsApp, further consolidating global social media into a single ecosystem. By 2021, Facebook rebranded to Meta, positioning itself at the forefront of the future of the internet, the metaverse. This shift triggered a long-term rise in both the company's value and Zuckerberg's personal fortune. By the year 2025, estimates surrounding Mark Zuckerberg's net worth reached staggering heights. Financial reports, data models, and market analyses suggested that his wealth hovered between $220 billion and $270 billion. This made him not only one of the richest people on earth but also one of the wealthiest individuals in history. However, this wealth did not exist as cash in a bank account. Most of it was tied to the value of Meta's stock, what many call paper wealth. When Meta's value soared, Zuckerberg's fortune rose like a mountain. When the stock dipped, billions could evaporate in a single day. The true source of Zuckerberg's wealth is his ownership in Meta. In 2025, he still controlled approximately 13% of the company, an extraordinary stake for a CEO of such a massive corporation. With this level of ownership, even a small rise in Meta's stock price could instantly add tens of billions to his net worth. And in 2025, this happened frequently. Meta's investments in artificial intelligence, virtual worlds, and long-term technological infrastructure pushed the company's value higher throughout the year, sending Zuckerberg's personal wealth along with it. Of course, his fortune is not just made of shares. Zuckerberg owns a broad portfolio of luxury properties across the United States, from Palo Alto to Lake Tahoe, worth hundreds of millions of dollars in total. Yet even these impressive estates pale in comparison to the astronomical value of his Meta holdings. Because his wealth isn't just about assets, it is about influence, platforms used by billions, decisions that shape digital ecosystems, and a vision that directs the future of global technology. Another layer of his story is philanthropy. In 2015, Zuckerberg and his wife founded the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative and pledged to donate 99% of their wealth throughout their lifetimes. This promise is one of the largest philanthropic commitments ever made. Still, the donation process is gradual and long-term, meaning Zuckerberg continues to hold enormous wealth and control over most of his shares today. Today, Mark Zuckerberg's fortune is more than a number. It is a symbol of how technology, innovation, and global connectivity can elevate an idea to unimaginable heights. What began in a cramped college dorm room has evolved into a digital empire influencing billions of lives. His wealth represents not just financial success but the far-reaching impact of someone who helped define the digital age.